you got to thinking that a lot of people say like spiritual practice. A lot of the books related to that, somebody might sit there and put them down. Say it's crazy or whatever because they don't understand something can be taken in a metaphorical sense. Then we have Olivia Rodrigo that makes a song called, about vampires, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire, or whatever she says. And we worship her, as a pop star. And it's fun, the little contradictory, it's a little hypocritical. If you think about it, as a society, we put down one thing because we think it's cool and trendy to be against, certain things, but we don't understand, certain texts, if used in a metaphorical sense, take on a completely different look, flavor, feeling, meaning. So I just, I ask people to just consider that and take a more ethical, moral stance to others that have a belief in something, or even that lack of belief in something, to be a better man or woman, and to not judge those that, don't judge anybody anyway, but think about it. Like, if you don't know somebody's stance on something, somebody says they believe in some goddess, and somebody, oh, that's stupid, that's just in your head, da da da. Then the girl, like, her mom was like killed in like a car wreck, and her parents were like abusive to, like, her family that was left were were abusive to her, and then she found this archetype, this metaphorical deity, this mother figure within Venus or Aphrodite, and she integrated the things from that, the lessons from that, to kind of form this mother figure, in a sense, to help her get through something. And I'm not speaking about, making up some, delusional character, but think about it. That might have, and then it helps her cope through a period of her life where she didn't feel like she had a strong, positive female, archetype or matriarchal, something, to pour her, or to be inspired by, I should say. She didn't have sisters. She didn't have any, like, strong people, strong women in her relational stuff. Her dad was, bereft with grief from the mom dying, and was therefore abusive. And she didn't have any, like, other siblings to really help her. So it's like, when you put things into context, there's always a way that somebody might be using something which isn't operating in the realm of fantasy, some delusional fantasy. It might actually help somebody cope with something, and you don't know how somebody, relates to something. That's why you don't make fun of people, because you could be the one person that makes fun of somebody, and then it causes somebody to go put a gun in their mouth and blow their brains out. So we have to be careful about stuff. If we worship people like Olivia Rodrigo and say she's some great pop star, but she's going to make a song about bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire, and using that in a metaphorical sense, and that's acceptable, then why not people that use spiritual, religious text, if they're viewing it in a metaphorical sense, an archetypal sense, let's say, to represent a concept which is found within our minds, within our psyche, then what's wrong with that? See how contradictory that can sound? So anyway, it's just a thought.